Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Open Green Energy. In this video I am going to unbox and review a pure Sinewave inverter from Epever. I will also discuss the different types of inverter available in the market and how you can select a good quality inverter for your application. So guys, without any further delay, let's move to open the box. This pure Sinewave inverter is I Power Plus series inverter. The white label on the box shows the important parameters of the inverter like serial number, input-output voltage range, frequency, output power, etc. Inside the box you will get a rocker switch with mounting arrangement, heatsink tube and a skew terminal. The user manual is very well written in English with proper diagram, installation guide and safety instruction. You can also find the datasheet of the inverter. Inside the user manual, you will get the quality check certificate from Epever. Now let's open the inverter. The inverter feels very heavy to my hand. This inverter is 2.3 kg. The build quality of the inverter is really nice. The enclosure is purely metal with powder coat painting. On the one side of the inverter, the nameplate is there. You can see the model number. The number 500 refers to 500 watt and the number 22 refers to 24 volt DC input and 220 volt AC output. Input voltage is 21.6 volt to 32 volt DC and the output voltage is 220 to 240 volt, 50 Hz and 60 Hz. You can set the output voltage and frequency as per your country standard. This is the AC output terminal, RS485 communication port, USB port, this is the external switch port and finally the rocker switch to switch on and off the inverter. On the other side you can see high quality DC input terminal for battery connection with provision for grounding the inverter properly. Two cooling fans are provided to cool the inverter from inside. These fans suck the air from inside of the inverter. The airflow direction is from right to left. On the front side one remote meter is there. You can monitor all the important parameters on this LCD display. You can also configure the parameter by using these two buttons. I will show the details in the later part of this video. These are the two status LED. The red LED is for fault indicator and the blue one is for power indicator. You can also rotate the meter by 180 degree by removing these two screws so that you can mount the inverter in any orientation as per your convenience. On the back side mounting arrangement is there. You can mount the inverter on the wall or any other surface by using 4 screws. Before testing the inverter, first I am going to connect this AC outlet to the output of the inverter. The output terminals are properly labeled so that you will not get confused during the connection. Before connecting the battery to the inverter, be sure the battery voltage falls within the input voltage range of the inverter. In this case, the input voltage range is 21.6 to 32 volt. Another important thing is that you must be very careful in sizing the battery cable. The sizing of the cable is given in the user manual. This inverter is compatible with both lead acid and lithium-ion battery. Here I am going to use a 7S8P lithium-ion battery pack to demonstrate all the tests. If you want to make this battery pack, you can check out my earlier video. The link is given in the video description. You can see the battery voltage falls within the DC input voltage range of the inverter. So now switch on the inverter and check the output voltage. You can also check all the output parameters from the multifunction display given in the inverter. First I am going to test the inverter by connecting a soldering station to the output terminal. You can see the inverter is working perfectly without any problem. Now before moving to test the output waveform, let's understand what are the basic difference between the two types of inverter available in the market. The basic difference between the two types of inverters are their output voltage waveform. In case of pure sine wave, the waveform is clean sine wave which is equivalent to your utility supplied power. In case of modified sine wave inverter, it tries to mimic sine wave in multiple steps. Let's connect the oscilloscope to the output of the pure sine wave inverter. You can see the output voltage waveform. It is pure sine wave with frequency 50 Hz. Now let's move to compare the waveform with a modified sine wave inverter. Here I am going to connect the oscilloscope to a 200 watt modified sine wave inverter. Now you can easily understand what is the difference between the two waveforms. You can see it is not at all pure sine wave. These inverters are very cheap but not suitable for sensitive electrical and electronics equipment. Now I am going to check the output waveform in different load conditions. For a good quality inverter, the waveform remains sine wave even after loading. I have tested this inverter with different loads like hot air gun, a Dremel rotary tool and finally a 500 watt drill. You can see the output waveform is still sine wave without much distortion. This test also shows that the inverter can withstand the surge power rating, which is 1000 watt for 5 seconds. During the starting of the drill, it draws around 937 watt. You can see the waveform of a modified sine wave inverter whenever loading. Now the waveform is completely distorted, which is not good for your equipment. It will also reduce the life of the equipment. So I will definitely recommend to buying a pure sine wave inverter instead of modified sine wave inverter. Now we will check the no load current of the inverter. This is the current consumed by the inverter when the inverter is not loaded. I have connected a wattmeter in between the battery and the inverter. You can see the no load current is only 0.4 ampere, which is less than the value given in the datasheet. Next, I will check the efficiency of the inverter. Efficiency is the ratio of output power to the input power. To measure the actual power output at the inverter, I have connected a wattmeter. You can see the output power is 250 watt and the maximum input power consumption is 270 watt. So the efficiency is 250 divided by 270 equals to 92.59%, which is more than the value given in the datasheet. On the remote meter there are two buttons. The left one is up and setting button and the right one is down and enter button. It also works for output on off switch. Press the up and setting button for 2 seconds to enter into the setting interface. Then you select the parameter that you want to change. In the setting interface, press 2 seconds to enter into the parameter configuration interface. Move up and down to increase and decrease the parameter value. After setting the desired parameter value, press the down enter button for 2 seconds to confirm the configuration. Through this RS485 communication port, you can connect a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi adapter to remotely monitor and control the inverter from your smartphone application. This is a Bluetooth adapter which is suitable for Epever solar charge controller, inverter and inverter charger. The range of the Bluetooth adapter is around 30 meters. Now connect the Bluetooth adapter through the Ethernet cable. Then download and install the Epever.I app. If the device is not detected by your app, then first refresh it. After refreshing, the app automatically detects the device and you can see all the parameters are available on your phone now. You can easily configure all the parameters of the inverter from this application. The process is very easy. Just click on the gear icon on the top right corner, then select the device parameter. You can easily change all the battery parameters from here. In my view, it is much easier to change the parameters from smartphone instead of changing it from the remote meter. You can also switch on and off your output load from the smartphone application. Let me check it now. At last I am going to test the USB output port by using my charger adapter. I have used a dummy load of 1 ampere to test it. You can see the voltage is very near to 5 volt even after the loading. To protect the inverter from abnormal situation, it is equipped with different protections like input reverse polarity protection, over voltage disconnect, low voltage disconnect, overload protection and over temperature protection. After lot of testing and using of this inverter for some time, my genuine feedback is that the inverter's build quality and performance is extremely good. You can definitely go with it, you will never be disappointed. I have prepared a checklist for buying a new inverter. I hope this checklist will be very useful whenever you will buy a new inverter. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you like this video, then don't forget to share it. Please subscribe my YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you will get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you. Have a nice day.